Welcome back to the deep dive. So for 11 steps, we've been tracing this incredible journey hidden inside a familiar carol. We've explored unity, virtue, all these silent architectural structures that supposedly hold the cosmos together. But today, I think the groundwork is finally finished. We've arrived at the last and maybe the most powerful gift, 12 drummers drumming.
Yes.
And this gift, it's not really about preparation anymore, is it?
Yeah.
It's all about application, realization.
Right. It's the activation.
According to the deep dive notes we've compiled this moment of profound, synchronized rhythm signifies the sacred structure of the cosmos, the ultimate establishment of order. It feels like a transition into mastery.
Okay.
Good, let's unpack this. Our mission now is to figure out why this beat signals completion and what that final cadence really means for you.
It's the sound of structure coming to life. That's the simplest way I can put it. We've been moving toward this necessary conclusion for the whole series. The number 12 in esoteric traditions, it almost always points toward a closed cycle, a grand conclusion. And the drummers, the sound of that system being fully operational, they embody discipline, finality, and, the perfect harmony required for any great work to last.
We have to start with the instrument itself, right? The drum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, its foundational symbolism is it's ancient.
Hmm.
The drum is one of the oldest tools of ritual command. It's universally associated with the heartbeat, with initiation.
The pulse of the community.
Exactly, the pulse. And when the drum sounds in a ritual, it just instantly announces sacred time. It unifies everyone into this single, cohesive, rhythmic body.
And in the context of the craft, we see that same rhythmic principle transferred directly onto the tools of governance, though you won't find, a snare drum in the lodge room. The notes we reviewed confirm that its symbolic function is constantly at work. The drum's power, its command and rhythm, finds its perfect substitute in the gavel.
The gavel, of course. The tool that calls everyone to order and sets the pace for the work, kind of like a drum major.
Exactly. I mean, think of the 3 distinct timed knocks of the worshipful master. Those aren't just arbitrary sounds. They are rhythmic pulses that establish and punctuate sacred time, transforming the ordinary, the profane space, into the ordered, meaningful ritual space of the lodge.
And it's not just the gavel.
No, the entire system of movement, the synchronized steps, the processions, it's all about creating a rhythmic pattern that confirms the work is being done in time and due form.
So if the gavel's at the symbolic drum, how does the transition to 12 drummers elevate that? Because 12 drummers aren't just establishing a single beat, they are a whole chorus of precision.
Well, the shift is from a single point of command to a fully realized system. The 11 previous gifts laid the architectural foundation. They introduced the melody of virtue. The 12 drummers, they provide the tempo, the anchor, the synchronized force that solidifies the entire structure.
So it's the sound of the whole system.
It's the sound of the entire system, representing the fully formed rhythm of the cosmos and the perfect resonant operation of the lodge. It's order that moves, it's order that sounds.
But you can't talk about the drummers without the number. Why 12? Why not 10? For the decade, or, 13, which is always seen as mysterious.
That's the key question, isn't it? 12 is, across countless mystical and philosophical systems, it's the number of structural integrity, of universal completeness.
It's not just a random number.
Not at all. It's not an arbitrary grouping. It defines the very boundary that forms a whole. Our shared material highlights just how pervasive this number is in defining universal architecture. I mean, it frames both time and the cosmos. We rely on the 12 months and the 12 hours to segment time.
And the 12 signs of the zodiac to organize cosmic cycles and archetypes.
Right. And this deep significance carries over into spiritual succession, defining the 12 tribes of Israel and, of course, the 12 apostles.
And when you dive into the really esoteric definitions, 12 becomes the ultimate frame. In Kabbalah, for instance, a lot of interpretations of the Tree of Life use 12 distinct paths to connect the 10 Sephirot, the 10 spheres of divine emanation.
Yes.
Which shows that 12 is the necessary bond. It's the connecting force that takes a set of ideas and frames them into a living, coherent structure.
Precisely. And for the Freemason, 12 represents the perimeter of sacred structure. It's the architectural compass by which the conceptual temple is framed. While the standard degrees focus on, say, 3 pillars, the number 12 is always there. Reverberating in the background is the matrix of the completed work.
And we see that structural presence echoing in the material we reviewed. The reliance on 12 lights of wisdom and virtue, the 12 officers needed in some jurisdictions to make a lodge fully operational.
And the zodiacal flooring that you see on some tracing boards.
Right, anchoring the ritual to the movements of the sky.
So the drummer's arrival is really an announcement. It means the matrix is complete. It's not just about sound. It's about signaling that a fully realized, morally consistent matrix of movement, meaning, and law is ready to function
Yep.
perfectly,
It's the sign that the plans are done and the building is sound. It's ready.
ready to sustain life within its walls. Absolutely.
Okay, so if we view the 12 days of Christmas as this initiatic journey, we've moved from basic unity and structure right up to this moment of rhythmic completion. And this, for me, is where it gets really interesting, because it shifts the focus from passively receiving instruction to actively governing.
It does. The 12th day represents the final transformation where the candidate becomes a Mason in being.
Hmm.
And the source material makes a really clear distinction here. They are no longer merely receiving light. They are expected to radiate it.
They don't just hear the music of the craft.
They must now keep the rhythm for others.
That's a huge pivot. The 12 drummers aren't learners practicing a scale. They are masters whose job is to maintain the beat, ensuring the sacred rhythm of the lodge continues for future generations. It shifts the responsibility from just self-improvement to
Institutional maintenance, that's the concept of mastery through maintenance. In any organization, maintaining the structure is the highest form of discipline. We can see this in the analogy of Masonic governance. The officers of a well-governed lodge are like instruments in an orchestra.
And if even one of them fails to keep time.
The harmony of the whole thing is disrupted.
That's a great example. So how does that rhythmic duty play out in the day-to-day operations described in the articles?
Well, look at the examples of duties cited in our material. The treasurer maintains the fiscal rhythm, making sure the financial structure is stable, sustainable.
Which isn't just bookkeeping.
No, it's an esoteric act of maintaining the organization's moral and physical health. The secretary records the minutes, which effectively echoes the beats of the past, linking today's rhythm to the rhythm of tradition.
And the wardens advance the work with steady action, while the master guides the overall tempo from the east, like a conductor.
Exactly. The drum beat is the constant reminder that Masonry is not a singular achievement. It's a continual, cyclical rhythm of labor and refreshment, silence and proclamation.
So the initiate's journey culminates when they realize that true fulfillment isn't finding the rhythm.
It's committing to maintaining it. The work is only complete when they take up the drum themselves and commit to keeping that beat steady for those who follow. The 12 drummers are the ultimate example of applied wisdom, knowing the structure so well you can make it move harmoniously.
Okay, so if the lodge is this ideal microcosm of order, where do we see this sacred structural rhythm showing up globally?
Well, this is what's fascinating here. The rhythm of the 12 drummers isn't confined to the lodge. It echoes all across history and culture. The number 12 has fundamentally defined civilization's most stable organizing principles. Oh, absolutely. Think about the foundational structures from the material we analyzed. The 12 Olympian gods of Greece, the system of chivalry built around the 12 knights of Arthur's Round Table.
The 12 gates of the New Jerusalem in the Book of Revelation.
Yes, and the 12 imams guiding Shia Islam, and the foundational myth of the 12 labors of Hercules.
These aren't accidents. They are systemic, symbolic structures that humanity uses to impose order, to mark a challenge, and to define wholeness.
Exactly. The drummers are essentially the guardians of these primal traditions, beating the universal cadence of virtue into the heart of culture, protecting and sustaining civilization's essential rhythm across centuries.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this rhythm operates at the highest cosmic level. Ancient cosmology spoke of the music of the spheres.
A sound that is universal, heard not with the ears, but with the soul. The 12 drummers beat isn't merely auditory. It represents the cadence of the universe itself, mirrored in the turning of the stars and the ordered flow of time.
So what does that look like when it's internalized? When the initiate fully understands this cosmic rhythm, they walk differently, both metaphorically and literally.
They do.
They breathe with awareness, speak with timing, and act with a consistent moral cadence. They know when to assert and when to be silent.
It's the final lesson of integration. All the previous virtues and concepts, the movements, the ideas, they were individual parts. The drummers gather them all up and make them sound together, perfectly. They teach that the work of the great architect isn't silent or static. It is a resonant, fully integrated system where every single part maintains the necessary beat.
So the knowledge transforms from abstract theory into lived, applied wisdom. It's the moment the student becomes the steward.
Capable of maintaining the complex machinery of order, yes.
This deep dive into the 12 drummers drumming really shows us that the end of the initiatic journey isn't a state of rest. It's a new phase of resonant responsibility. It's the moment when knowledge is internalized and ready for constant application, allowing the structure to resonate and hold against the forces of chaos.
And as we close our study of these 12 gifts, the articles remind us of that beautiful truth of cycles. The completion of the rhythm is never the end of the work. It is the beginning of a new cycle, a new song, and a new phase of building, echoing endlessly through time.
The source material leaves the initiate, and I think leaves you with a challenging question. Now that you have learned the architecture and the virtues, have you truly kept the rhythm of the craft? Can you now step forward, not merely to listen to the order that others create, but to beat the drum for the next generation? We want you to consider what it means to internalize this cadence, to let your personal structure, your life's purpose, be the rhythm that holds the temple together. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.